Guys, welcome to Jen's Lemonade Life. I am in my new place, so different background here. Probably will be changing that up, but I'm still in my pajamas. I'm on a new schedule with my day job and things are crazy, but I wanted to do a little introduction to this video. I actually filmed it at my last place, but one of the tips that I have for saving money, especially if you don't have a washer and dryer for clothing in your home, is to hand wash laundry. I did that for sorry, this little one really wants to say hi. I did that for the better part of a year and a little bit of a combination of things. So I'm just going to show you what I did, what products I used, and how I saved money by keeping my clothes clean. So let's get right into it. Hand washing laundry is great for items, especially like this, that have the sequins that you don't want to get damaged in the washer, but also for all clothes really. So first, I make my own washing mix. I don't want to call that powder. I've been doing it for a few years now, and it doesn't have all the added scents, which could be good or bad. I mean, some people really like the smelly stuff, some people are allergic. But anyway, I use equal parts borax, washing soda, and OxyClean. And then I grate in some Felt's naphtha. All of this can be found at Walmart in the laundry aisle. And try to make kind of smaller chunks. And I don't have exact measurements, guys. I couldn't find my recipe. I've just been kind of winging it for a while. So I put in about a tablespoon, and then I put in hot water into my little tumbler. I got it on Amazon. I'll link down to it below. I love this because it's really easy to do. It just takes a little bit of time. But I'm mixing it up in hot water so that powder will dissolve, and then adding some clothes. Now, just like any washer, you don't want to overstuff it because it needs to be able to agitate, but it's really surprising how much can go in there. If you want your laundry to be washed in cold, obviously let that first bit that was dissolving the soap, the detergent, cool down, and then you can add cold water. And then right now I'm just doing an initial spin to get everything nice and soaked. It really is best if you let your clothes soak for a while, if you have the time, even for a couple of hours, just so everything can penetrate and it's not just such a surface wash. So that's what I'm doing right now, just agitating for, I don't know, a couple minutes, and then you get a nice little pop when you open up this seal on this. After letting it soak for a while, I come back to turn it for approximately 2 minutes, and it's about a second per interval. So after that, you get this little tube that comes with it, and it just clicks in down below. You have to be a little careful because it can leak a little bit if you're not quick enough, but just pour it down the drain. After that, of course, you need to rinse your laundry. You don't want that soap that's still in there. So go ahead and do this. I do wish I had some sort of like handheld hose kind of thing instead of having to fill up containers from the kitchen, but you know, do what you got to do. Go ahead and crank it for a couple minutes and then drain it again. And then I usually do another round, or I just open it up and then pour in some water to give it a good final flush out. And then you do have to wring these because I don't have any sort of device that spins them drier, so they are completely soaking. But be gentle, because we're going to have them drip dry in the bathtub. So I have a second curtain rod, and I just wedge it in there, lay it on a little bar, and then use hangers to hang them up. And I also have this other little rack if I'm doing like a couple loads all at once, not just a few things, and I need the extra space, then I will do that. And just drip dry them, usually overnight, because you do not want it just going out and ruining your carpet. So the other way that you can do this is that this is what I first got. So a couple buckets, and I put these holes in there for drainage and cut out little notches. I just used a screwdriver and a heat gun actually to make all those holes. So you put it in a bucket that does not have any holes, and gonna put in our mix there with some hot water. And this is a laundry washing plunger. It's specifically designed to let air come out the right places and agitate your clothes. I think this is, I don't know, it's simpler in some ways. I don't usually prefer this think maybe the agitation just isn't as nice, and it's maybe a little bit louder. I was on the 3rd floor, and my neighbors downstairs maybe didn't love when I did this, or at least I, you know, kind of wanted to avoid that. So anyway, you're just going to plunge it for a little while, agitate it. I noticed sometimes it didn't agitate as much as I'd like, so I'd kind of just put my hand in there and mix it around and then keep agitating. And then once you take it out, because it has those holes, it's draining out on its own. And then I take the other bucket, which still has some water, press down, and that's a nice way to help squish the water out. So that's less that you have to do by hand. You're going to drain that out, and just like with the other process, obviously you still need to rinse your clothes. So I'm going to fill it up to a little bit of plunging, agitation, and then if you feel like, you know, you got a lot of soap, you got a lot of gunk, the water's not very clear, go ahead and do it a second time around. Just like before, you are going to drip drain these in the shower, in the bathtub. And then I have this nice rack that I got. I found it really, really worthwhile. You want to make sure that you have it in a room with lots of aeration, like I've got my window open, or if it's winter, I've got it near, but not dangerously near any source of heat. Also, having a ceiling fan is really nice. And of course, whether or not it is hand washed or done in the washer, which I did at a friend's house, it is really nice to be able to hang it out to dry outside, where you get that sunshine and the air, doing it quickly, and then you don't have to worry about any sort of dampness problems, especially if you are in the winter and you don't have your windows open. It can really add a lot of humidity to your house, which is not so bad here in Idaho, where it is pretty desertous and dry. But depending on where you live, and especially if you have potential mold problems, that's something to think about. Well, thanks so much for joining me here on Jen's Lemonade Life. I have got a lot going up, a couple of trips, hopefully. Well, one for sure, one hopefully. And and I am hoping to bring you guys some fun travel vlogs. Going to New Zealand and Fiji in less than a month. I hope I kept everything in a place where I know where it is to pack. Does that make sense? Moving is stressful. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If that's something you've never considered, maybe it's something that's worth looking into, even for something like maybe camping. So go ahead and subscribe if you want more tips on how I stay frugal while I work on getting out of debt. And I hope to see you next time, next Friday, with another video. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.